Hello, my soccer universe. Let's make sense of what we saw. Before I forget, I would be remiss to not remind you that there was also a Ligue 1 game today with Montpellier beating PSG 3-2 after being down 2-1. And the winning goal, watch it. PSG needs to come down from the high horses. It's absolute misery with them. It doesn't look. I know they have nothing to play for. It doesn't look good. But now to the Champions League semi-final, where I actually, for the first time, I said I'm gonna make notes. I've been writing 2 pages to actually be able to tell you something a little bit more sensible, not all from memory. Also, yes, I'm wearing Ajax now. Do you like, by the way, the way I put the shirts? That's more or less the matchup. Although, if they would have these jerseys now, they would not be able to play in these because of the lots of white on Ajax here on the front, although on the back it's all black. So yeah, but I thought nice. I realized that for tomorrow's game I have the Barcelona home and the Liverpool away jersey. Then I said for the return I don't have a Barcelona away jersey, and I was already scrambling, couldn't actually find something really decent except for the 1-2 away jersey, which would fit because I have the home jersey, which is golden, so maybe let me think about it. I actually missed the chance a few months ago. They had the 8-9 away jersey, which I would love to have. Then I got to think for the return leg in Amsterdam. Yeah, I have this Amsterdam home jersey. I have no away jersey for Spurs. However, I bought something at White Hart Lane in 2003. This polo shirt, which could count as an away jersey, so I guess I'm more or less set, except for the Barcelona part, but we'll do that. And before I really get into the game, no, I've not been wearing an Ajax jersey during the game. Actually, quite the opposite. I wanted to test not my soccer powers, but my hockey powers, so I was wearing this wonderful Avalanche sweater that I have. My first real NHL jersey, so I did not jinx any team for now. I'm wearing Ajax, not only because they won, which I usually do. It's not a secret, nothing against Spurs. I do support Ajax in this Champions League. I want Ajax to win that frigging cup. This would make me the happiest. I said it, and again, I honestly, as you saw in my preview, I can live with any of the four winners. I think they're all for positive football. It's purely from personal preference, Ajax over Barcelona over Liverpool over Spurs. But doesn't really mean much. Overall, I don't mean to say I dislike any of these teams. And last thing on jerseys, the jersey matchup is the one that we are used now for Ajax away games in the Champions League. The home team plays in all white and Ajax plays in more or less all black with the golden top. It's a nice looking jersey. A colleague of mine has it and has been wearing it. I do like it, but I already have a black Ajax away jersey, so I don't necessarily see the meaning. And I actually like this one better, the one that's back there. So yes, I'm tempted, but it kind of seems a little bit superfluous, to be honest. I actually would rather have Adidas Ajax home jersey or get one of the more colorful away jerseys. But who knows? If they win a Champions League, I guess I gotta get it. Classic football shirts are selling those if you're looking for those at actually a decent price. If you want to have them, of course, customized, you probably have to go through an Ajax fan store. Spurs in their all white is not a bad look for Spurs, but not with the jerseys. Having this navy bottom fade with the white pants, I've said it before, it does not look good. It absolutely should not be there. But then again, I think Nike should have made a dedicated Champions League jersey for them, make it all white, have them play like Real Madrid, get a few navy accents in there. Okay. Off to the game. Actually, I thought at first the crowd was sensational. Both sets of fans, lots of singing at the beginning of the game. It was really an intense crowd. It was also a little bit intense at home because the girls were not. We have now tomorrow the day off, 1st of May, of course, and then I took the rest of the week off. So we let the girls stay up a little bit longer, which they were really nice in the evening, but then, they got tired and a little bit too edgy in a way. So basically for the first 20, 25 minutes, it was a little noisy in there. And there was actually quite some things happening with the game as well. I thought that at first Ajax managed to force a few errors in the Spurs defense. Like this feeling out phase, and Ajax pressed quite high, forces some errors, and they had actually one or two decent opportunities to actually come to goal very, very early. But I felt overall Ajax then quickly took over possession. Spurs could not hold on to the ball. Ajax, a very mature team, and it totally belies their age, took possession. But I felt at first they were playing a little bit slow. I thought it could have been a little bit faster played. But then, a few passing moves, and in the 15th minute, Donny van de Beek, again him, you remember him from Juventus, makes it 1-0. Right, nice move over the left flank. Ball comes in to Schöne, who passes it to Ziyech, who quickly to Van de Beek, who suddenly is absolutely free. There was also Neres free ahead of the goalkeeper. He has even the time to not only stop the ball but also fake a shot. He was clear and he wasn't even offside, which I thought from the beginning puts it past Lloris. 1-0 for Ajax. Spurs quickly on the back foot in the 17th. There was a great chance already for Ajax to make it 2-0. And it was pretty big pressure that Ajax put on. After that goal, even before that already, they really showed that they are an absolute great team and a great team to watch. I was a few times saying, oh wow, the passing move that they made. And there's one in the 24th minute, I call it, he put it on, gloriously missed chance passing deluxe. It was the fourth miss at that time. There was a pass. Van de Beek stepped over the ball, came to Tadic, who basically put it in Van de Beek's pass, and he missed the chance. That would have been, I think it was blocked by Lloris. That should have been 2-0. It would have been worthy. And there's a theme with Ajax. They're a little bit sloppy with their chances overall. But 2 minutes later, first Spurs chance, and this was also a theme in that game. Whenever there was a foul, kind of halfway between the box and the center line on the side, it was usually a free kick taken by Eriksen or by Trippier coming into the box, and Ajax could not really defend these well. They come high in, and they always found a header. And 26 was probably the best chance. Llorente heads it off goal, but if he can place it, this could have well gone in. And then in the 30th, the first yellow card for Tagliafico, tackle from behind in the midfield, yes. And then again, they have trouble defending the ball, where Onana has to come out to save it from Vertonghen, and that's in the motion he seemingly kicked Vertonghen, probably broke his nose, probably concussed him. They had to take care of him for 5 minutes on the field there. And that actually broke Ajax's rhythm in a way. I was even thinking, the commentator said, is this going to break Ajax's rhythm? And I was thinking, that's ridiculous. They can just play on. But the rhythm was broken in another way as well. For Vertonghen did not necessarily a defender come on. No, Sissoko came on, who actually moved into midfield. And so before the game, Tottenham defended with 3 and had then Wanyama in the center and 5. And now they played a 4-4-2 with a kind of a diamond. And that gave Ajax a little bit trouble. And Tottenham finally could hold on to the ball. They had more places to put the ball, were a little bit more secure. Ajax still was the slightly better team, but you could see that Tottenham is coming into the game. And I wrote down in the 42nd minute, first prolonged Spurs possession, and then it almost cost them because Neres got through and had another chance. But then in stoppage time, which was 5 minutes added on, fully deserved because you had to take care of Vertonghen. A header by Alderweireld, again after a free kick, and Ajax seemed a little bit shaky in defense. And then a pretty good shot by Sissoko from afar that just curled wide right. That could have actually caused some damage if it was hit a little bit better. I made my notes. Ajax was very impressive for the first 30 minutes, had a well-deserved lead. At least 4 more good chances. I think they could have gone into halftime 2-0 up. There is only 1-0. It's basically down to them not taking their chances, which they already did in Turin. Tottenham was only dangerous from free kicks, from midfield, and one led to the injury, which kind of broke up the rhythm of the game a little bit. Probably that the injury probably helped Tottenham. Halftime stats also interesting. Shots towards goal 4-6, so 6 for Ajax, 4 for Spurs, 2 on goal. And corners were 3-1 Ajax, and possession 41% Spurs, 59% Ajax. That shows you the domination that Ajax had. But it all changed in the second half. Thanks to this tactical change, mostly. Spurs started off physically, brightly, and had an attempt after 15 seconds. But in the same minute, Tagliafico also had a shot wide that started this period where Ajax actually was very sloppy on the counter-attack. Tadic was overall quiet, I have to say. And then I wrote down here, every time I write something positive about one team, the other team makes an action to prove me wrong. I was about to write down that Ajax is actually, has sloppy counter. At that moment, 50th minute, a chance by Dele Alli. This was the first, and as it will turn out, only shot on goal. Spurs were very aggressive at that point, but on the other side, they're shaky in defense. And I wrote down 51st minute or so. The game hangs in the balance. If a score would have happened, this would have changed the game. If Ajax scores, the tie or the game is at least killed off. I would even say the tie is killed off. If Spurs score, they might actually go on to win that one. So yeah, and at that point the chances suddenly were 7-7. Still 2 one-shots only on goal. So we had the one shot on goal by Spurs added on. Then Dele Alli wastes a good build-up with a kind of poor head in the 56th, and you could really see that the new system pays dividends. And they were very physically. I wrote down this looks a little bit like men versus boys now, which it actually is. I mean, most of the Ajax team, they are just boys. But it also was pretty clear that overall, Ajax defense might seem shaky at times, but the longer the game went on, the more secure they went. It was almost a Juventus-like performance on the back from Ajax. 63rd minute, Feldman gets a yellow card deserved on a foul on Dele Alli. Then Schöne comes off, who lost his kind of touch on the field, and Mazraoui, who is actually right. I think he plays in defense on the right, but he actually replaced Schöne 1-1. So yeah, and then I wrote down Ajax wants to play too nice. Sloppy counter-attacking. Tadic had a blocked attempt in the 71st, which could have been quite dangerous. And at this moment, I said, please, Ajax should be more precise. Make it 2-0. You kill off the tie. And very often that the pass is missing. And Spurs pressure was decreasing around that time. So 70th, 75th. And there was a Rose attempt that was blocked to a corner. This was basically the last hurrah of Spurs, almost. Then in 78th, the big chance. Great passing move again. Tadic has it more or less on the penalty spot, but he passes it on to Neres, who was in a better position, and takes the shot and hits the post. But I was wondering if Tadic takes the time to stop it, he may even have a shot and probably even a better position than Neres had. So a little bit more killer instinct on Ajax's side. And I also noted that the ref lets Ajax get quite physically. At that point, possession in the game was 47% Spurs, 53% Ajax. So you could see that Spurs is actually hanging on to possession. Still, chances 10-10, but nothing went on goal anymore. Then in the 79th, Pochettino makes a double change. Davies for Rose, Foyt for Trippier. Not really much. A header, 82nd header, Alderweireld from a free kick. Eriksen, again the theme. After a free kick, Spurs gets the shot, or gets off a header, but almost to no avail. Well, and Ajax was now standing deeper and quite solid. The 87th, Huntelaar comes on for Ziyech, who kind of ran himself tired. He was a live wire in the first half, second half, not too much from him. And you didn't see much from Huntelaar. The game was slowing down, and I wrote down Spurs in quiet desperation. And of course, I have Pink Floyd's Time. Hanging on in quiet desperation is the English way. That's what came to mind. There was quiet desperation. They did not really show it, but you could see that they actually wanted to get this equalizer. And maybe the way their first half was going, it would have not been undeserved to get the equalizer. The second half was going. In the 90th, there was an iffy situation. The Ajax box with lots of balls bouncing around. No one really gets in. Getting a shot off, but you know, if someone would get it, would have been really dangerous. 3 minutes were added on. Ajax plays it home in a very dry and routine fashion. Basically, in the last 50 minutes, Spurs could not, and Ajax didn't really want to, or you know, yeah, let it go. Ajax wins it. Advantage Ajax, but I think it's one of those shaky ones. You could clearly see that Spurs is missing firepower. If Ajax would have been a little bit more precise on their counterattacks, they could have really killed off the tie already. It could have been easily 2-0, did not go that far. On the other side, if Spurs has the added firepower in front, I'm thinking Son, I don't think Kane will come back, but Son could cause some havoc there because he is a very inventive and also very physical player. And with a physical style, Spurs can get to Ajax, I have the feeling. And I'm not sure what system Pochettino will play in Amsterdam. Now, new situation for Ajax. Ajax goes in the return leg not away, but also with the advantage. I'm curious to see where this will go. I still stick with my prediction. Yes, I actually had the 1-0 at hand. I said 2-1 because I thought both are more offensive teams. Should have stuck with it. Slapping myself for that. I still foresee that the game in Amsterdam will be a tight one because Son will cause some trouble, and I don't think that Spurs is out of the tie at all. I can see them scoring 2 goals. And then Ajax better score 2 as well, because otherwise Spurs is on to the final. So it is not over. Advantage Ajax. I would favor Ajax to go through, but I can see Spurs, with having more firepower up front, getting something going. On the other side, Ajax again showed young side, super talented, super impressive. Enjoy it while you can. I really enjoy watching this young Ajax side play. Absolutely amazing what they're doing. But yeah, it's gonna be a good one. It actually will be the second game next week, so I'm curious how it will go. Will be interesting for sure. Let me know your thoughts on the game, how you saw it going. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos of these tomorrow. The big one almost between Barca and Liverpool, so we're gonna see about that. Stay tuned, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, here are some videos and playlists that might be of interest to you too. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel, as it will give you all the updates on my channel, all things My Soccer Universe. And with that, I want to wish you a wonderful day.